Hello everyone, it's August 31st, 2019, and we are in another session of our market insights for the Philippine stock market. And earlier today, I asked everyone on which stocks they would like us to review, and I already have an initial list. And let's wait for some joiners, and thank you for joining. Hi, Benjamin. Happy Saturday. And for the initial list that we have, we'll talk about ISGO, PHA. I'll actually post this so that we all have a reference, right? Initial list for review. There you go. We'll talk about ISGO, PHA, FPI. So these are the list that or stocks that you guys requested earlier. And what you see on my screen is the official YouTube page that we maintain. And as a best practice, I recommend that you also subscribe to this channel because a best practice that I would normally do every single day is that, of course, this session is recorded, right? And once the market closes, I go back to the video and then listen to my voice again. But the objective there is really to find out whether our findings or our insights are accurate. So I would go to my YouTube because in YouTube I can increase the speed of the playback, like this one, right? Now, if I click it faster, that means I can finish the review at a much faster time. This is just simply to validate whether my findings are correct. And so if those findings or those insights are accurate, then I reinforce that in all my trades. I am also in eToro. Yep, you can find me. I'm Julie Lax in eToro, and this is our stats so far. I've created this account back in 2018, but really started trading the international market back in June, and so far our stats are really good, and I'm so happy. We have one copier. Amazing. But actually, this is a feature that eToro has. For example, you're really new and you don't really have the skill yet on how you can trade or how to trade in the stock market. This is a feature of eToro where you can copy all the trades of the person you like, and all the gains that the person has will also be your gain, right? So you can find experts here, like click copy people, and then you see their stats, and yep, just copy them. Now, this is actually, I'm gonna show you my portfolio. I only have a small equity here because I just want to make sure that we manage our finances really well, and we have to make sure that all our trades are really calculated. Okay, so my trading style here is that I do not use any leverage. When you say leverage, you borrow money. So my rule of thumb is always to just trade at $100, and my stop loss level is always around 5%. Now, if you want to check out my profile in eToro, just look for Julie Lax. At the same time, if you're also interested, I'll put my link in the comment section, all right? Just in case you're interested. eToro link, all right. Just in case you're interested, you can create an account in eToro and just read the details there. I think they'll give you $50 if you'll fund your account. Where is that? Here. So they'll give you a gift of $50 if you deposit. I think the minimum amount is $200. If you deposit $200, they'll give you 50 as a gift, and then they'll also give me $50 as well. So that's really cool. All right. Now, enough with the plugging or promotion. Let's talk about your stocks. One moment. Who do we have with us now? Let me just check first. Happy Sunday, Benjamin. Happy Sunday here. Oh, it's only Saturday, Benjamin. Good morning, Enrico. Nice to, it feels good, like to always, help at the same time. This is also my way of upskilling myself. So we're all learning together here every single day. Good morning, Victor. And yeah, Donald, Marco, and Rose. Yes, thank you guys for joining me this Saturday here in the Philippines. I know some of you are from other countries. Now, let's talk about the first stock you've requested. And this is for IS. By the way, we really have some good moves for the index last Friday. It finally crossed above the MA20 line, so which is really cool. It broke this resistance level. So hopefully, now that it's already September, October month is over. I mean, August, the ghost month, is finally over. So we're thinking we'll have some more bullish moves for the Philippine market. And when we say index, that would mean, in case we have some new joiners, please bear with us. I have to repeat this so that they will also understand. An index is like a basket where you have the blue chip companies are included in. So I think I made a post in the past where I listed down all the blue chip companies. Just go through my previous posts. There are 30 companies included in the index. So they drive the movement of the PSEI. One of that will be Jollibee. There you have MBT. There's MPI, Ayala, SMPH, those other stuff. There are 30 companies. Now, so let's try to talk, check IS first. Now, for IS, what do we have here? It's really a downward movement here for a long time for IS. And then there's a sudden spike that happened last Thursday. Now, this is, again, not a good sign because, it was not really sustained. What will happen here is we're going to expect some more downward movements because look at this. Some more downward movements for IS because it again triggered the lower or the MA20 line. So the red line over here in our Bollinger Band is the MA20 line. Okay, just for everyone's reference, how did I set up my indicators? So in Investograms, you will see icons over here, right? And the indicators are here. So just click it. If you're looking for a moving average, so that's it, right? You click it. But I only use Bollinger Bands. And then you just click it and it'll just have the setup. Some people would tinker with the settings, but I just use the default for everything. I also use RSI. I go here and then I go RSI. And then I have that setup. Okay, pair Bollinger Band and RSI, you'll have amazing and effective indicators, and of course your solid understanding of support and resistance. It will really help in all of your trades. Now, what I'm thinking here for IS is that this is your resistance, and we are now triggering the middle or the MA20 line, and then we might see some more downward moves for IS. Let's check out Geo. Geo has the same story. These are all secondary stocks, and we don't really have, let's see. Yep. So what I suggest for Geo is, of course, check out the MA20 line and see if that support will be sustained, because your MA20 line can also act as your support. Look what happened here. So it was trying to break that resistance, because in a downward trend, your resistance is the MA20 line. But when the movement goes above it, you have a bullish movement, your MA20 can also act as your support. A previous resistance will now become your support. Okay, so what happened here was, it's already trying to make those attempts to break that previous resistance, and it really broke it. However, what happened here is that there were a lot of traders who really traded this stock for just one day. It even reached a 0.30 level. Now, I'm sure before the market closed on this day, they sold their position, and then it ended here. Started here, but ended here. Okay, that's the reason why you see this green stick right above it, because at one point within the day, the price reached that level. Now, the following day, which was Friday, the price started slightly above it, right? But most people started to just really sell their positions. And what we will look forward right now is see if this support will be sustained. Otherwise, it will go back to its previous support, which is around this level. PHA. What do we have so far? Nice black background, by the way. Okay, thank you, Marco. I finally figured it out. Thanks for teaching me. Okay, let me also add CHP for you. Okay, hi po, pwede po pakitignan yung X, of course. Let's check that out. Kung saan signal ng bili. Okay. Let's go back. For PHA, so what happened here is that in a downward movement, you see this, your MA20, as always, will be your resistance level. So what happened here? It was not sustained, so we'll see some more downward movements for PHA. Now, if you're really interested in getting in, just wait for, because we don't have some. Look at this, it went down, but your RSI went up here, and true enough, it went up, but of course, your MA20 line becomes your resistance, right? So it went up, but it was not really sustained, so it might go back to the same level again. This level. Okay, so that will serve as your support. Next would be FPI. For FPI, okay, so it triggered the upper band, upper Bollinger Band here. However, my thoughts on FPI is that I didn't really see any catalyst. Okay, so no big news unless there's something that I didn't know. Now, what I can say is that this is going to be the next resistance of FPI. And if you're going to enter this stock, it's, I think, already a bit high. So I suggest don't. Now, in case you really are interested, wait for it to go down, because normally it will find its new support, right? And given that you have the MA20 line here, MA20 line could be best entry, or the nearer you are to the MA20 line, the better, because that will also serve as a bounce area. In case this dips, it will potentially bounce at the MA20 area. But if it fails, meaning your MA20 line is broken, then we will expect some more downward movement for this stock. Because I don't really feel good about this stock, because the fact that it had really massive move within the day only to end at a much lower price, so that's not really good. So potentially we might see some more, you know, retracements or corrections, and just watch out at the MA20 line level. Okay? And this is your resistance. Your resistance is like the ceiling. When it reaches that price, it's like there's a block, and then it will go back again. Now let's talk about nickel. Nickel, you are already in. Okay. I think this is already a bit high for nickel. If you can haggle near the MA20 line, so that's already 7.25% above the possible support, which is the MA20 line. So if you can haggle like around here, if it really retraces around the 260 area, or of course the 255 area, that would be better. Okay, but we're not just observe, because there's what you call a breakout play. We're actually here, like in the resistance area, because this one, 1, 2, 3, it was hit 3 times, right? But I don't really feel good, because the momentum is really low. Not a lot of people are really trading this. Look at the volume, this compared to this. So that means, like, if there's just one trader with really large volume who will sell his position, tendency is it will break down. So watch for the price to reach around this level, and see if you can get in. Okay, let's add mwide for Jasper. Okay, I'll try to finish everything in an hour, because normally we allot 1 hour for our insights. Now, FLI. FLI. So I'm thinking that I'm going to show you a similar pattern here, because this is what you call, this kind of candle is I forgot the term. Anyway, I'll look for the term, but this is not a good sign. This is only good if this happens below, like shooting star, hammer versus candlestick pattern. Shooting star. Yeah, that's a shooting star. See that? So if that happens at the resistance area, why did I say that this is a resistance area? Because this is on a downward trend. Okay, so it went down, move a little, and then go down again, and then move up again. So it follows the, this is the resistance that it is following. Okay, so down, up, and then it will potentially go down again. So be extra careful. I'm seeing some more downward movements for FLI. PX. For PX, it's trying to consolidate within this area, and let me show you another tool that we can use And then this is the Darvas box. Just simply create a rectangular or a rectangle in within the area where the price is consolidating. So what is currently happening is that you have some consolidation happening right in this area. Now, if you can make some rules of your own, right? If, for example, this price breaks this area, starts, let's say, around 4 pesos or 391, right? If the price starts at 391 and then most of the moves happen on the upside, that means you now have broken out of the Darvas box and you will see some more upward movement. Now, let us say if it let's say it only moves within this range and then it breaks down, then you'll have downward movement. Now, if you just want to trade within the range, make sure you enter right at the lower line of the rectangle and then sell it at the upper side or the top part of the rectangle. So if you would like to do range trading for this one, that's just around 5% gain. So it's up to you. Would you like to have a range trading or just wait for some more confirmation? IRC. For IRC, yes, we're on a downward movement. It tried to hit the resistance here, and it got rejected, and it ended with a red candlestick. So we're thinking that this can potentially have some more downward movements. Okay, wait for the price action or what price movement will this suggest around this area, 1.31. I'm seeing a support in that level. Wow, this has been on a massive downward movement since October last year. Okay, so just wait on what the market suggests around this level. IRC, Vita. For Vita, okay. So I will be extra careful with Vita if this does not break the MA20 line, because here we've already reached a bottom and then it gave us some bullish movement. But remember, in a downward movement or in a downtrend, your resistance is around the MA20 line. So we'll wait and see, because what I see here, this is a doji, right? It started and ended at that level. That means there's a possibility that this will go down further. Okay, so let's say you purchase this, but you have to observe first. I can be wrong though. What if on Monday there's a gap up and then starts above the MA20 line, then all good, right? But if most action happens around this area, let's say it gives us some consolidation in this area and it's giving us a hard time, then maybe for those people who already entered here, you can start taking partially, take some profit, right? And then purchase it again at a much lower price if you like, so that you have more volume at a much lower cost average. Next one is SLI. For SLI, okay, if you're interested to get in this stock, the best entry price would still be at the 2.35 area. Yeah, where you have the MA20 line. Okay. Let's see how it looks like on a weekly chart. Okay, so this is already a steep move for SLI. On a weekly chart, please note that every candlestick is worth 1 week. So you've already enjoyed, the good gains here if you've entered a long time ago. Wow, that's 119% gain in less than a year if you entered around that level. So just observe, because what I see here, notice, all right, we're nearing some retracement or some correction soon. Price was moving up, but your RSI is moving down. See that? Price is moving up over here. So that's it. Start taking profit, guys. It's not forever that you have an upward movement. And this is on a weekly chart, by the way. Now, there's a question. What kind of time frame should I use? Normally, if you're a long-term investor, you'd look at the daily, weekly, or even monthly charts because it gives you the much bigger picture. But if you plan to trade within the day, normally they use 1, 3, 5 around that these time frames, and they sometimes plot it in multiple. Okay, you can do this. I showed you that. Let me go back to it. I click multiple and then gives me a new or a new tab where I can set, let's say, 1 minute here, 3 minute here, oops, and let's say 5 minute here and 15 minutes. Okay, so sometimes what traders would do is they look at the 1 minute chart but also refer to the other or much longer time frame in their perspective so that they really see the overall direction of the stock. So try to play with this because I know there's even a virtual trade available here. So see how these windows can make sense in your trades. But traders use a much faster time frame when they trade the market. Okay. Now, hello Wiki. I also added Alba, so we'll talk about that. Yep, Lina, thank you. Star, I think you were referring to that candlestick pattern I was mentioning earlier. And yeah, Ijima, yep, I have MBT on my list. Hi, Ching. Thanks for joining our live. And let's see, I have Meg. Yep, I have Meg. SLI. Now, the next on our list is JFC. JFC, okay, is starting to consolidate in this area and it's making a support. Well, actually, this is already what I'm still in the weekly chart though, but most of the people who are engaged in JFC are really investors. You're already at a very cheap level, so this is the area to watch out for. And of course, we hope that this doesn't break anymore. So if you want to test it out, this is the best area to enter, around 225. 237 is fine. I think it's not that much of a gap there. Yeah, 5%. So maybe if you can haggle around 230 area, yeah, that would be a range where you can enter. Okay, 230, around that. But if you want to check out the daily chart, yeah, the daily chart, see that? It finally crossed the MA20 line. Now, we're thinking that soon we'll have some more bullish movements for this stock. And you're already at a very cheap level. So this is a good stock, very established company. You'll never go wrong with JFC, and you're at a very cheap level now. So I'm highly recommending JFC. CHP. Okay. So let me check the weekly as well. right? So this could be an area of focus, and just plot the price areas where we can closely monitor, right? And then let's look at the daily, see where it gets plotted. Okay, so we might see some more sideways movement for CHP here. Or maybe we can do this. So it was moving up, right? And you also have a moving resistance over here. So if you have something like this, let's remove this first. Okay. So this is where the price is at the moment, right? Now, in a stock that's in an upward trend, your support is also moving in an upward direction. The same goes with your resistance. Now, if you want to trade this stock, make sure you go near this green line. Okay, the nearer you are in this line, the safer, because you're going to be at a low risk level. And then try to observe what happens when it crosses it about. The price is about to cross the MA20 line. See if it's successful, then good. Then you watch for the next resistance, which is the green line on the upside. Okay, so it will normally move within that range. Now, if this line gets broken, then that would mean you now have a downward movement, but we're still within the range. So just take note of that. You can even take a screenshot and or plot it on your Instagram or whatever tool you're using. Okay, but my recommendation here is that get near the green lines, and of course your resistance would be your profit taking area. MBT. For MBT, okay, I think MBT is a bit struggling here because the direction of we have a shooting star. I write this here. Why did I say that? Because in a downward movement, I use MA20 line as the resistance, right? Now, it tried to break that, but it was unsuccessful, and it managed to end below the MA20 line. So we're thinking that in the coming days, we'll see some more downward movements for MBT. Now, let's see what it looks like on a weekly chart, because MBT is Metro Bank, right? So most people here are investors. It's loading. Sorry about that. Hi, Ian. Thanks for joining us. There. Okay, so some more downward movements for MBT in the weekly chart as well. So wait for the next area of focus here. Let's see if this price gives us a bounce around this area, because I see some consolidation here creating a support on the weekly chart, by the way. So see if when it reaches this area, it will give us a good bounce. And if it does, if it gives you a confirmation like a day of green around this area, then that could be a confirmation that you have a successful bounce, and then you enter around this area, okay, near the 65 area. Next one is kppi. kppi, what I can say is that for the past days, it tried to create some support in this level. But what happened was last Friday, it broke that support. So we're seeing maybe in the coming days, we might see some more downward movements. The reason why it's not giving us this any indicator is because it has not reached 20 days yet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's still very young, 8-day-old company in the market. So it will still find its right price, okay? The level where the market believes that this is just right. So what I'm thinking is that because so this is the support, right? It landed 3 times on that day, or on that week, and it broke that. So I'm thinking we might go back, watch if it stops right at 8.22, or it might go back here in this level, the first day level. So I'm a bit bearish for this company. Ali. For Ali, okay, you check Ali on Monday. See if you have a good bounce here. Because that area, that it landed on the same area, but your RSI is already moving upward. So straight line, but upward direction for RSI. So if you want to get in, try to, test it out. This is Ayala, by the way. I will not be scared to recommend this. Okay. If you want to check out the news related to the stock you're checking out, you're reviewing, just click the news and you'll see all the news related to that stock. So try to, you're already at a level, at actually a good level now. See if it will give us a good bounce on Monday. Okay. Meg. For Meg, so good job. Those people who entered around this area, actually even on this area, when it did a gap up here, right? It ended here, but it opened. That was a good jump, and then it ended up here. So that was already the best entry time. Now check out if this resistance. We're looking at MA20 as a resistance when the movement is on a, if there was a downward movement. So we already had a bounce, but use this as your probably initial profit taking area. Now, if it breaks that, good. At least you still have some stocks or some shares remaining to ride the wave. So just observe, okay? This is the resistance that I'm seeing. All HC. Okay, so you had so this is the support I'm seeing. I'm thinking, okay, if this gives us another green day on Monday, then just use this as your resistance. Okay, you can do range trading for now. If it moves down here, then this is where you enter. If it gets broken, make sure if you're getting in as a trader, just cut your loss around 3 to 5%. That's the safest that I can recommend. If the support we've plotted is invalidated, right? But if it goes up, you can use your MA20 line as your resistance and your profit taking area. That's what I can see for now. Next would be ABA. For ABA, okay, looks like we have a good message here. It broke the MA20 line, so hopefully this gets sustained where you will have some more green movements in the coming days. Just use this, okay, resistance, because it got hit, goes back, tries to hit that again, goes back. Like it's trying to break that, but we were not successful. And then same thing here, and then eventually the buyers gave up, sellers won, and now they feel that this level was really a cheap level, and so people are starting to buy. if you enter, let's say around this level, let's see how much area is your potential gain if you enter at this level. Okay, that could be a 20% gain, right? Or even this level could already be a profit-taking area. So I think still at a good level if you enter near the MA20 line. Tugs. For tugs, okay, just observe because you have been on a, a very long downtrend for tugs. Maybe this is the time we're waiting for. I think I mentioned this before when we've seen some signs here where your price was moving down, right? I think I remember plotting that. Price was moving down, and then your RSI is giving us a reverse direction, right? Moving up. And then true enough, we've seen a reversal, and it triggered the middle or the MA20 line. So if you want to get in here, try to check near the MA20 line. Enter near the MA20 line. Okay. So guys, when I plot it, it does not mean it's really at 1.76, right? It is an area. So the nearer you are in that area, the better. Okay. Okay. This is for Jerry. Okay, let's see if we can insert Sab. What is MA20? MA20 is the moving average in the past 20 days. So there is MA50, there is MA100. So what is the average price in the past 20 days? If you say MA50, what is the average price in the past 50 days? Okay, and there is even a pattern where they, or an indicator that they use. Let's try this. They combine the different MAs or the different moving averages, and they call it the AOTS, the alignment of the stars. The rule there is that the faster moving average time should be above the okay, let me just rephrase that. The MA, let's say if you use MA20, MA50, MA100, MA20 must be above MA50 and MA50 must be above MA100 for you to say that a stock is in an upward trend now. So let's just use, okay, SEB for example. So what they normally do here is go MA, 1. Oh, my text is black. How do I do this? Format, inputs, MA20 for example. And then you add another MA. And then you change the settings. Change this to 50. Change the color. Okay. And then MA again. Moving average. Change the settings. 2050. Let's make this 100. And then let's change this. Okay. Right. So this is 20, 50, and 100. Okay. Some people have different settings, but the goal there is the shorter the range must be above the longer range. So 20, 50, 100. Some people would have 9, 50, then 100. So it's all up to you. You can test out what works for you. But notice what happens here? So when the blue line became, or when the blue line is above the orange, so this is 20, 50, 100, then you have an uptrend. And they set their own rules. For example, I will only enter when that transition starts to happen. No, I don't enter. So some would say I will not enter if I don't see that kind of pattern. And the wider the gap is, the more volatile a price becomes. So this, for example, this one. So this could be your good entry price. And then you have an uptrend there. Okay, and of course, these areas could also be an area of focus because the price could bounce in any of those areas. And in this example, for SEB, where do you think is the bounce area here? It respects well, it actually follows the MA20 movement, right? Let's try another stock. Where did I leave off earlier? But tugs. I'm done with tugs, right? Let's check out ICT using this. For ICT, see that blue, green, blue, orange, green. So when that pattern started to form, then this could be your entry price. And then look, massive rally on the upside. Now, what's not good about this is that this will now potentially face some declines because look at the pattern. It's rearranged now. Orange, green, and blue. Okay, but I still have to master this kind of indicator. But this is also very effective, but I just need some time to really practice this. Okay, but let me just go back to my favorite. So let's go check out ICT. For ICT, yep, because here it created, it just rested around the MA20 line, which created a support in this level. Now there's a gap up. So we feel that there will be a lot of bullish movements for this stock, but of course remember that sometimes there will also be retracement and it will stabilize. So if you can enter near the MA20 line, good. But if in case maybe it will fill this gap, because normally the behavior of a stock is when there is a gap up, the price will visit that level again to fill the gap. So your good entry level will be from here to here. Okay, so that's the range from 129.27 to 131.03. So those are the areas that I would like to recommend you guys to enter at. ISM. For ISM, okay, ISM is starting to trigger that MA29. Hopefully on Monday, if we have a new price level, it's starting, or let's say it starts about 515 and most action happens on the upside, then we are going to expect some more bullish moves for this stock. I remember one time I said that there is a possibility that it will revisit this level. And yep, we are right. It actually visited that level. And we're thinking that we now have a good possible bounce in the coming days. And the Friday candlestick made that big difference. So I'm positive for ISM, some more green days for ISM. Now a lot of people got stuck here. They bought the stock at a high level. So I have a feeling it will go back to the MA20 line. We'll see some more red movements or red candlesticks in the coming days around this level, 2.58 to 2.60 level. So if you want to get in and let's say you want to average down, wait for that level before you average down. But wait for a confirmed bounce because sometimes it reaches that level, but it goes further down. Okay, so wait for it to really have a green candlestick form. So it stops at this level and then gives you a green candlestick, and that's a good entry. Okay, so stay away from now for now. Okay, C. Okay, let me make an ascending triangle for C. Okay, and then right over there. So that's our ascending triangle. So your condition is wait for a breakout of this triangle before you enter. Or if you like, you can enter near here, so this will act as your support, right? Near here, but provided it goes up. But if it goes down, make sure to cut your loss right away because that's not a good sign. That would mean we're just trying to break the resistance here, but we are unsuccessful, so we'll have some more downward movements. But if most action happens on the upside, then of course you have a good breakout of the ascending triangle. The next one is PXP. PXP, not a good sign. See that? It broke the MA20 line. It even did a gap down. So I'm thinking we'll have some more downward movements for this stock. Okay, so the next area of focus that I can see here for a possible entry point is this one. The reason why I said that is this used to be a resistance, right? Used to be a resistance. It broke that resistance. Now we had some good moves up here, but the stock is just resting. And hopefully it gives us a chance around 9.23 area and just give us a good bounce right after that. The next is PPC. PPC trying to consolidate in this area. Wow, massive movement for a day, and then it took, sold and goes back on where it started. Okay, so you're just in the, I'm thinking it will just consolidate in this area for now. Just plot that. Okay, this is the consolidation. This is the area of consolidation that I can see. So if you want to enter in this stock, enter right at the 5 peso level and then probably exit at 5.32. Now, if you've entered around, the higher price, wait for it to break out of this resistance, temporary resistance, goes up, and then, so what I'm telling you right now is to how you can average down without having to add more funds. So wait for it to break out of this line, okay? And then let's say it reaches this level or it reaches this level, you can never tell. You have a chance to probably sell part of your shares and then wait for it to go down again and then purchase it at a much lower price. This way, your average for this stock is going to be lowered down. And then when you sold it here, of course, we understand that you've cut some of your losses, right? But if you purchase it at a much lower price, you'll find out that at the end of the day, you did not really lose a lot. So that's how you manage to lower down your average without, having to lose a lot of money. And let's continue. Hi, Chris, Mervin. Okay, thank you, Rose. I hope I was clear in the explanation, but that's just the concept of moving average. There are good traders who use that as their main indicator, and that is a very effective tool. But it's just, for me, I'm just comfortable with my very simple Bollinger Band and RSI. Okay, now Chris, Mervin, I'll add yours. I'll see if we can still cover that, but I'll try my best. Okay, but I've committed to finish kppi, APO, CHPX. Okay, and mwide for Jasper. Okay. So kppi. I talked about kppi. Okay, APO. For APO, okay, wait for it to reach around the MA20 line if you want to get in here. Because I'm thinking we still have another red day, but MA20 is the recommended area of entry, 0.74. Okay, might have another red day. CHP. We talked about CHP. Okay, there you have it. Now, let's talk about X. For X, okay, wait and see for X, okay? I would say that if the price starts above MA20 and then most action happens right there, then I would say that's a good entry price. But if on Monday it gives us a red candlestick, then I'm thinking we will have some more downward movements for this stock. Something like this. It tried to trigger that, but we were unsuccessful, so we experienced some more downward movements. But hopefully it breaks the MA20 line, and then you'll say, okay, good. Like this one. It broke that MA20, stabilized there, and then moves up. Okay, so just have to observe what the previous price action was, because sometimes it just repeats. Okay, triggered it, tried to break it, but unsuccessful, so more downward movements. So let's see if it triggered it. If it's successful, then most likely we'll have upward movement. mwide. Okay, mwide is making a consolidation or doing some sideways movement. Okay, here, and draw that. Oops. Let me draw that again. Okay, so that's your Darvas box. To play Darvas box, you have to enter near the lower line of the rectangle, and then if you want to do range trading, exit here if the attempt is unsuccessful. Because sometimes, of course, it will try to break that. That's your resistance. This is your support. So if it successfully breaks that, then of course you don't sell your position. Now, just ride the wave, because it will create a brand new support and resistance. But if we are unsuccessful in breaking that resistance, then of course you have to take profit, because potentially your price will go back here. Okay, so this is the area you need to observe for now. And I talked about SAB earlier. Let's take a look at Bloom. Bloom, so it gave us a bounce, but I see a resistance here in the MA20 line. Okay, near the MA20 line. So that it's an area, guys. Okay, so the MA20 line can be our resistance in this case. Right, and the last one is PIP. Did I talk about PIP? Okay, let's open PIP. Okay, PIP, if you want to get in PIP, enter near the MA20 line. Alright, because normally if you have an uptrend here, it will still give you a chance because price moves up and down within the day, right? So the nearer you are to MA20, the more potential profit you can get at the end of the day. Okay, but overall, I see some sideways movement here. So similar to what I did earlier with, I forgot the stock. This will be your Darvas box. There. If you want to do range trading, enter near a support, exit near a resistance. Alrighty. Apple, yeah, I talked about Apple and kppi. Thank you. You're welcome, Levy. Now, so just my simple request, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I am Miss JD in YouTube. All right. And as a best practice, of course, watch the market, trade the market, and then once the market is done or closed for the day, go back to the video, watch it again. See which areas you can grab as a good learning and apply in your trades. Because that's a practice I do myself for the videos I make. And then I, of course, apply it during, the night where I am free because I trade the international market more frequently. And I use eToro. So if you're also interested in creating an account in eToro, just scroll up because I shared the link there. You can create an account using my link. And if you also don't have the time, you can copy me if you like. So I'm so proud with the first copier of my account. So far, 3 consecutive months we are positive, and hopefully, with the cadence, the daily cadence that we have here, studying together, we will all become better at what we do in trading. So happy weekend. See you again next time. Hopefully Monday. No, I don't think I need to do that on another session on Monday because this will cover it, right? Probably Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday morning at 8:30 at 8:30 a.m. we'll have another session of our market insights. In the meantime, happy weekend, everyone. You have a great day.